Hi, I'm here in West Petaluma today to talk about pioneering families and the conjunction of the two families and an architect, Brainerd Jones. Imagine that we are in a time period where there are no highways, and the highways are our rivers, our bays, and our ocean, and that everything that gets moved on those waterways. Today I'm going to talk about two families and how they came to help create the Petaluma that we know today. So we had some families in Bremen, Germany, namely the Dreeses. Johanna and Adolf got into a boat and took a harrowing trip to the United States, the promised land. And the gold rush when they got here was almost over, and so they bought a half share in a hotel. And they also started a poultry business. And then they added on tallow and furs and dried fruits. Fast forward to when they have children, their child meets Lucy Lawler. Now the Lawlers came from Ireland, and once again they were facing famine, and Germany had the Depression, and so they also were seeking a better life. And Jonathan Lawler, the current owner's great-great-grandfather, bought an entire block so that his three girls could live next door to each other. After they had children, they bought the next lot down so that the grandkids could also visit Grandma for cookies and brownies. Let's take a look at these houses, and the one that we have on the market today for the first time in 115 years. All of that time, it's been in the Drees Lawler family. I'm Bonnie Spindler, the Victorian specialist, and I'm covering the American dream today as it related to the Golden West. This is 215 Bassett. Gracie Lawler Akers lived in this house. She was the youngest of the three sisters, and when she had children, her children bought the house next door. This house was designed by Brainerd Jones as well. Ollie Lawler Stillwell lived in 209 Bassett, and they had family portraits on this front porch, and everybody would take turns hosting Thanksgiving and Christmas dinners. It was one big family affair, to the point where the neighbors called it the Lawler Block. Here we are at 201 Bassett, which is the last house in the Lawler Block. It was owned by H. Adolf Drees and Lucy Lawler. She was the eldest daughter, and they wrote a check to the architect, Brainerd Jones, for $30 to construction manage this project. Needless to say, times have changed. The Drees Lawlers had years and years of happy times in this house. They threw Thanksgiving dinners and Christmas parties, and the families took turns entertaining in each of the three houses down Bassett Street. Bassett Street was a very happy place. Unfortunately, in 1917, Adolf died, and that forced Lucy to have to go to work. She bought half of a flower and nursery business. She ran the flower business, and her partner ran the nursery. And when her sister got divorced, her sister also went to work at the florist shop. That block, the commercial block in downtown, is still there. It houses the Umpqua Bank all the way to the Alphabet Soup. So that is still a Drees family property, and the name is still on the building. .201 Bassett and 215 Bassett were designed by Brainerd Jones. Now, he was actually born in Chicago and lived there until he was 6. His dad, who was a prominent attorney, died suddenly, and his mom took him and moved him to Petaluma. When he got here, he started doing drawing classes, drafting classes, and he had an apprenticeship in San Francisco for an architecture firm. He started designing houses in 1900 in Petaluma, and he was really the only architect in town. So he is said to have designed 80% of the historic buildings in the historic district of Petaluma. He designed each house to fit the clients that he was designing for, and they are chock-a-block full of columns, little architectural details, built-ins, china cabinets, window seats, all kinds of lovely built-in furniture details specific to his type of architecture. Jones hit his stride and he never looked back. He designed the Petaluma Women's Club, and he was in competition with Julia Morgan for that project. He did the Carnegie Library, he did the post office, he did the McNear buildings, he did the Opera House. Most of the historic buildings in Petaluma, he had a role in. So when Brainerd Jones took the commission, he knew that the Dreeses were all about family gatherings. And so this house is set up for warm times at home. There's a fireplace with a built-in seat. There's pocket doors that seal off the rooms individually from each other, a bright and sunny sunroom to gather in, a large dining room with a built-in buffet, an informal breakfast nook for breakfasts at home. The entire house is set up for warm family gatherings. I want to show you my very favorite part of this house. Are you ready? This opens to the back side of the china cabinet, so you can clear the table into the butler's pantry, and it's so much easier to put food out on the table. It's design genius. I just love it. Thank you so much for joining me today to learn a little bit about Brainerd Jones's past and 201 Bassett and the Lawler Block. This house is available, very easy to see, and we hope that you come make this part of your future just as it's been part of Petaluma's past. I'm Bonnie Spindler, the Victorian specialist, and I hope to see you soon.